Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Age of Conan Belit, issue number 3. I didn't like this issue. There were some problems that I had with the previous issues that I don't think I even talked about in the previous issues. But in this one, there is such a bright spotlight shown upon those problems that it makes the book, I wouldn't say unreadable, but the character absolutely unlikable and unbelievable at the same time too. Disbelievable, perhaps. All right, let's take a look at who made this book. There's a chance that this could be better just because I see the title of the book, The Lesson. I'm hoping, but there's still problems that I just don't see being rectified in this. Anyway, Teenie Howard is the writer. Kate Niemczyk, this is how I destroy names, sorry. Pencils and inks and breakdowns for certain pages. Finishes on certain pages done by Scott Hanna. Colors, Jason Keith. VC's Travis Lanham doing the letters. Sana Takeda doing the cover art, and Stephanie Hans doing the variant cover art. Jay Bowen doing the logo and novella design. All right, so basically here, let me talk about an unforgivable page on this book. Issue 3, page 2. That page, the page of the actual story, completely 100% unforgivable. Belit is trying to make a scam on these people. You saw what happened in the previous issue, so here she's trying to scam these people into saying, look at this monster we just destroyed right near your shores. Not really, but, we'll keep your place protected if you let us continue pirating people. And, yeah, man. So the people are like, oh, well, we happen to have a monster of our own, so go ahead and destroy this monster. Here you go. They're all necromancers. Rise, rise, rise. Serpentor, rise. Like, that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Cobra, la, 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 la. You all saw that movie, right? G.I. Joe, the movie? Yeah, so these guys start cracking jokes. I'm sorry, there's a similar monster that brought down one of your other ships and almost destroyed the ship that you're currently on. And you had the armament of your ships to destroy the other creature barely. And now there's just 3 of you on the shore with your swords. And you're cracking jokes. Conan wouldn't be cracking jokes, and he's a hell of a lot more capable than all 3 of these people put together, including Belit. This was just completely unforgivable. It was nonsensical. That was, I hate saying words like this, but this was a stupid page. That was a ridiculously stupid page. Every single thing on that page was stupid. Now, the next page, Belit jumps up and she, 8 years old, whatever she is, she kills this monster. I would be okay with that if the events later in the issue didn't happen. Okay, Belit is super powered, she's awesome, and she could just, flip around and dodge all these tentacles of this gigantic beast, this horror from the depths, this Cthulhian-style monster that, you're supposed to be terrified of, because this is supposed to be Cthulian. Robert E. Howard and, not Philip K. Dick, that's Androids Dreaming of Electric Sheep, H.P. Lovecraft, you know what I'm saying? Howard Philip Lovecraft, these two were like best friends, and freaking, they based their stories like that. Age of Conan was supposed to be based on a Cthulhian mythological, experiment outside of that world, or somewhat within. This was a great horror from the deep, man. I don't know about a great one, but it was a horror from the deep. It's supposed to invoke fear, and these guys are just cracking jokes. Okay, but she jumps up and she's able to behead this thing, dodging all these tentacles, something that takes a lot of nimbleness and agility. Awesome! So why is it that later on, when she's much older, she's fighting a drunk captain and accidentally hits the first mate on the side? I don't get that. I don't get that. Look, I know that if you're not trained in the martial arts or swordplay or anything like that, that thing's not just a decoration on my wall. I don't use it anymore, but yeah. You don't make mistakes like that. You don't. You can see, you learn how to fight peripherally. You learn how to use your eyes in a way that you're seeing things, you're seeing movement and things like that. I'm sorry, there's no way that you could fight a giant beast that's supposed to be a terror from the deep with all these tentacles all over the place trying to catch you and mess with you but some girl jumps in front of you, some trained warrior. She's trained to throw her neck in front of the. No, I'm sorry. That was choreographed fail, in my opinion. I'm only talking about the bad things about this book because they were glaring. They were terrible. Look, here's the problem that I had with the first two issues of the book that I never mentioned because they were ignorable and I was expecting they were going to go away really soon. She is albino, and she is very privileged. There's a white privilege joke there. But, like, it just is what it is. Unfortunately, I don't want a bunch of people jumping into it. Yeah, white privilege is a joke. They're talking about, no, it's real. And white people can have a whole lot of problems and still understand that it's still worse for other people. That I don't think that's such a hard concept to understand. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. The way that I look at this comic book, though, it feels like it is a joke on white privilege, almost. Because, let's be realistic. I don't know what the Pirate Code of Honor is for the rules of inheritance for stolen goods, because that's all the piracy is. It's a bunch of stolen goods. And if you're talking about, well, it's my right to inherit my father's capital ship and all of his other ships and his pirates and all of the booty and everything, his title because I'm his rightful heir. Shut your stupid mouth, you pathetic little girl. I don't see how any pirate captain, no matter how weak he may have been, would have humored her for as long as this pirate captain did. So him not throwing her overboard immediately to the sharks was just unbelievable. It was disbelievable. You couldn't believe it! But I let it go because I was enjoying so much of the rest of this story and hoping that at some point she was going to really assert herself. She doesn't. She accidentally kills the first mate. She she kills a drunk captain. Like, ooh, why didn't you just kill him in his sleep all those years ago? This was just stupid. What, she stutters later on, so I guess I'm supposed to suppose that she, the only reason why she didn't kill him is because she didn't know how to captain a ship. I get it, but it's not enough for me. That's not enough. It doesn't make sense how here's this pirate captain who just sees Belit kill this monster on land, and then and makes this deal for her people for the ship. And the pirates that, we're going to be able to, raid people and everything. Our piracy is going to be legalized in these waters. Yay! Wow, she just did more for us than anybody else. I better reassert who I am by reminding her that I'm the captain of the ship, as opposed to killing her in her sleep at night. Let's just be realistic. We're talking about pirates here, right? And if he would have pulled that nonsense with her, like, yeah, don't forget, it's my ship and I'm the captain, and walk away. You turn your back on Belit, it's my opinion, you're getting a sword. Whether you're facing her or got your back to her, you're getting the sword the same way. The question is, which direction does it pierce you from? But it's going to run you all the way through, so who cares? She should have killed him right there on the spot. That doesn't make sense that she wouldn't kill him right there on the spot. She's confident enough to kill this beast, but not to pirate a ship. I get the idea of the burden of leadership. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Machiavellian, I get it. Actually, that was Shakespeare, but he quoted it later. This is... None of the stuff that happens in this comic book is believable. Belit, we would die for you, even though we're pirates and our only motivation is wealth. We get the idea that we'll follow you because you're making us more money than we've ever seen before, but we would die for you? Is there one thing that was believable in this book? If the cream rises to the crop, there's not a lot of cream left. There's not. I was painfully, woefully disappointed by this book. I was really hoping to see Belit make something for herself. And that might happen in issue 4 or issue 5. But the way that it was handled in this book, she is a privileged, stupid, spunky little brat who's pretty good with a sword and has a couple of good ideas that fortuitively worked in her favor, but could have gone either way because they were all based on luck. Everything about her is just you got lucky, or you were, and you had a very privileged understanding of who you were, and people didn't kill you. Although that world that you live in, this is the savage world of Conan, the Hyborian age, post cataclysm. Sorry, she would have been killed. No, nothing that happened in this book in this issue was believable at all, and it shines a terrible light on the shortcomings of the previous issues that I otherwise never would have mentioned. I don't see how she's gonna become something special in the next 2 issues because too much has happened that was unbelievable. It's got to be based on this. It's got to be anything that happens that suddenly makes her awesome in the next 2 issues is going to be based on this nonsense that happened in this issue. I think that the biggest problem with this series is that it was a 5-issue limited series and it should have been a 12-issue limited series. The story should have been told slower, and there should have been like 1 major and 1 or 2 minor things that happen in each comic book that show her rise and how it wasn't luck that made she could still feel entitled to all of these things, these material possessions and the titles that her father had. She could still feel entitled to them. Why not? She's a dumb little child. Children feel entitled to things. I've got 2 little boys who argue all the time. Mine, 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 mine. Actually, it's mine. I bought it, you little, monsters. Go to your room. You know what I'm saying? Your room, which is my room, by the way, because I own it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the frig? Like, she's still a child. I get it. She could have all of that stuff. She could have those shortcomings of that we all have when we're kids. But let her earn some of the stuff. She didn't earn anything. Even the idea of her killing the creature from the deep with people joking, at her feet. It's still not believable when later on, when she's much older, she makes a mistake and accidentally kills the most valuable person on the ship, including herself. It's just not believable, and I didn't like this comic book. I actually kind of hated this comic book. Yeah, it's not cool. Anyway, guys, I'm still going to read the next issue because maybe it can just be better. It's going to have to be better in light of this comic book, which is going to be a hell of a thing to do. But I'm more than happy to, and I'm hopeful that I'll still like it. We'll see. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.